Hi, I'm Joy Denver Spears, and you're watching The Libby O Show.
3, 2, 1. It's the Libby O
Show! How did she do it? Do it.
It's the Libby O Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Libby O Show. Today we are at the Millennium Dance Complex in Nashville, Tennessee, with one of my good friends and dance choreographer, Miss Joy Denver Spears.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about all of the experiences she's had with some of your favorite musicians, and her classes that she teaches here, and we may learn a dance or two. So, very excited. We're going to head on into Studio A, and she's going to share a little bit more about Millennium. So we're here in Studio A, one of the rooms that you teach in weekly. So talk a little bit about how you got involved with this studio and what you love so much about teaching here.
So I actually lived in LA for 7 years, and that's where the first Millennium Dance Complex was established. And Tam opened this one in Nashville 2 years ago, I think almost over 2 years ago now. And she had heard of me just by name, and actually through a friend that wasn't even a dancer was like, oh, you should call my friend Joy. So we had a phone conversation for like 2 hours. Absolutely fell in love with her and her, vision for bringing something for everyone. Because the thing is I travel across the country teaching at dance studios, and a lot of them are competition studios that most dancers like myself grew up in. Mm-hmm. And I have so many friends that are older, like my age, that may have danced when they were younger or just want to dance for fun.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go just to a competition studio and take class. There wasn't really a place for open classes, which some studios have started to open that up, especially since Millennium opened. But Tam brought this opportunity with bringing the studio here so that anyone, all ages, can come take class. We have open classes. We also have a company. But the open classes are open to all ages, whether you've danced before or not. People from, I have students that you just saw when you got here that come from other competition dance studios. I have people that drive in hours to take classes. So I have 3 open classes a week. I teach heels on Monday and then contemporary and hip hop on Wednesday. And it's been cool because even my friends that don't dance have come to class, and a lot of the artists I work with. And, it's just opened up a door in Nashville that people can come and enjoy, like, the life of dance and just have fun with it.
And just have a good time, which I think is just so great about your practice, is really teaching people that it's all about being able to dance and express yourself.
Yeah, and it's like I always say, this is one of I've said it so many times over the years, dance is like therapy. And it's just as expensive, but it's just a good let go. And also for people, no matter what you do, I always tell my students, it teaches you work ethic. It teaches you to step outside of your box. So no matter for my younger students, even if they don't pursue dance professionally, you're one day gonna have to step into a room for an interview, or anything, and if you're used to dancing on the stage, then you're ready. And then for the people that are like singer-songwriters, artists, or actors and actresses, whatever they do, they come to class, and from what I've been told from my friends that have done that, it helps them feel comfortable in their own skin even when they're performing.
So before we get into more of your background and your experience, I want to talk about the people that you've worked with and what it's like preparing video treatments. So Kelsey Ballerini, Thomas Rhett, you've danced behind Lady Gaga, and just all of these just different amazing stars that all of you know watching this. So can you share more about how being a professional dancer prepared you to choreograph for a lot of the artists here in town and LA?
So, I graduated high school, and during my senior year, I was dual enrolled, so I only had to go to school part of the day, and I was accepted to University of Alabama. I was supposed to go to college after graduation, and I told my mom I wanted to just go do a couple of auditions just for the experience.
Yeah.
Flew to Chicago to audition for So You Think You Can Dance. Did not have any expectations. This is just season 2. So season 1, like we were still kind of like the guinea pigs figuring out the show, and made it through everything in Chicago. Went to the week-long callbacks in Vegas, which was probably one of the hardest weeks of my life. And then we flew home, and they flew us back. It was made to look like we were still in Vegas, but we were in LA. Sorry, Fox. And I remember standing on the stage when I walked out there for them to tell me, and it was like they were telling me, it was like the dramatics of television.
Yeah.
You know, you're so young, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm standing there like this. I still remember I was in this green tank top, black booty shorts, high pony when my hair was still long, and you can see me start to take steps back because I'm like, they're about to tell me I didn't make it. And when Nigel says, you're so young, and so I think you need experience. And with being in our top 20, I think you'll get that experience. And my face was just like, what? I was like, that was so mean.
Like, tease you like that, right?
I was like, what's happening? And so then I was fortunate enough to work with touring on dance conventions as an assistant with some of the most legendary choreographers, Tyce Diorio, Brian Friedman, Nick Flores, RJ Durrell, you know, the list goes on. Greg Russell, who actually now is married and has a family in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I go teach at their studio. It's like the world is so small, yeah, and he moved from LA to do that. And but I had such an incredible experience growing up, and my mentors were amazing. So after So You Think, I actually booked my first job the day after the finale, and with Brian Friedman, and did it, and then went home. I'd kind of talked my mom down to going to school for 1 semester, and then got home, and I'd signed with an agency in LA, and they called me the day I got home and said I booked another job. I was like, Mom, I'm not going to school. I went out to LA for 2 years, and worked. I did my first Britney Spears music video, did a lot of industrials and TV and film, and then, but the agreement with my mom was to take online classes to start my scholarship. She didn't tell me that you only had a time span, so I ended up going back and going to University of Alabama, completing my degree. I was still going back and forth and working a lot, and then went back to LA after I graduated and started working with many more artists. Lady Gaga was actually a funny story because I never actually auditioned for a Lady Gaga job. I was at my friend, I'd been on tour in Latin America and working with a lot of artists, and I got this email at one of my best friends' birthdays, and I'd been gone and I hadn't been around my friends, and I'm sitting there at dinner, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad, but like I have an audition in the morning. And my friend was like, you work all the time, it's fine. Don't ever listen to someone that says that. Take every opportunity.
Yes. Work as hard as you can.
Because your friends, if they're friends, will understand. I left and went to the audition. It was for Priyanka Chopra, who is actually, she was like Miss India or Miss World or something. But she came to the States and she was trying to be an artist. Then she became the lead on that TV show Quantico. And now she's married to, if anyone knows who Nick Jonas is.
I mean, yeah.
So I did her video, so I was auditioning for her video with Will.i.am. And it was with Richie Jackson, that is Lady Gaga's choreographer. It was, so usually in an audition, there's like types. So if you're 5'7" and up, there may just be like a job, like the breakdown in the audition email is like 5'7" up, this look, or 5'5" and under. I've had resumes that said I was 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", and 5'8". You just really sit into that hip when you're in that typecast. Well, this one was all types, and I remember leaving the audition and the agent sent out an email and they're like, they actually want to see 5'4" and under too. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get it. Booked the video, just 4 girls, worked with Richie. He loved me. Then about 4 months later, I remember I was at home doing laundry and I get an email and it's like LG checking avail. I thought I booked a Verizon LG.
I was gonna say, that sounds just like a Verizon commercial.
Finally. And I open it and it's like, checking your avail for Lady Gaga. Stay tuned, you may be flying to London next week.
Wait, what song was it for? Or was it for
Venus.
I love it.
And I was like, wait. And this was the first time ever my mom didn't answer the phone as soon as I called. I was like, no one will answer their phone call. I was like, I think I just booked Lady Gaga. Did it and went to London. We did the Graham Norton show. We did X Factor in the UK. Lady Gaga was so amazing to work with, and just so positive and just humble and grateful for everyone involved. And then several other things in between, but yeah, that story is just one of those stories. It's like, don't ever turn down an opportunity, because had I just set out that one, because I didn't know who Priyanka Chopra was at the time when I got that call for that audition. I knew who Will.i.am was, but you know, who knows? Had I not gone to that, I would have never gotten to work with Lady Gaga. And then that went on to working with her a few more times and doing like one of her biggest music videos. It was like basically a short film, like 12 minutes long, with GUI, Venus, and one other song. So
you never know. I know before we started filming this, you were talking about how connections are so important and being nice to everybody that you meet is so important. So can you talk just a little bit about, you know, the relationships that you've made and why you value kindness in what you do?
Well, I always tell my students, like, above all is being a good person and being a kind person. And I personally think it's not hard to be nice.
No, it's not.
And just be genuine. And I think the relationships I've made that have led to other relationships, and just being humble and grateful, and you never know who you're sitting beside. And that is a very true statement. And even if you're having a bad day, it's just so important. Like if someone asks you questions, we all wake up sometimes, we're like, I don't feel like talking. Or if you're on set all day. What led me to working with Universal, like the label which several of my artists are with, was me sitting on set with one of my artists, Cassie Ashton, and Joanna Carter from Universal sat down by me, was talking to me, and she's like, I may have an artist for you to work with. And it was John Party, and him and his fiance Summer have become 2 of my closest friends now. And it was just us talking, watching playback as Cassie was doing her video, and she's, you know, called me for so many things. And it's, you know, just engaging in conversation in a genuine way. My thing is never a motive to like try to get something. It has to be like organic, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's just me. That's how I've always been. When I was like 6, and my mom always says when I tell the story to make sure everyone knows that we lived in a gated neighborhood, so it was safe. But one morning, like Saturday, 6 a.m., I wake up. I'm like, I'm gonna go visit my neighbors. Went from house to house to house, the 3 in front of me, and we all knew him, like, because I was born and raised in that home. Yeah. And I'm like, just wanted to chat. Like, I've just always been a personable person to talk to people. And
you're a people person.
Yeah, and that definitely helps with what we do. And being in Nashville, I always knew, I was like, it's just going to take meeting people to get to moving from being just a dancer to a choreographer. And now, like, I really am interested in creative directing and stuff. And during quarantine, I've been like directing these videos and doing stuff, and 6 feet apart, of course. But like, it's just the connections you make are so important. And if you do a good job, I always tell my students that want to go into dance, your talent matters, but it also goes with your look and what they're looking for, and if people want to hang around you. Because when I'm booking dancers on jobs, I have a group of people that are luckily, like, they're my friends, and I know that if I'm on set and they're like, we want to change this up, I can rely on them, I can depend on them, they're not going to complain and ask a million questions. Like, once you get your like tight-knit group, then you're good to go. And it's just that all goes into beyond your talent, but like being a good person and easy to work with.
For sure. And so when you're working with an artist and putting together, you know, a choreographed dance for their video or whatever project that they're doing, what's the most important thing that you think comes first in that process?
I would say the most important thing is playing to the artist's strengths.
Yeah.
So, like working with John Party, when we had a sit-down meeting, they originally had talked about me being the lead girl with him. And I had just met Summer, his fiance, and I was like, and for me, the way my mom raised me, like, I look at a lot of different things, and especially with fans and country music fans, because in the country world, you know, it's a little different than other genres. You have a lot of like couples and, you know, people married with families and stuff, so it's just a different culture. And I'm like, I can already foresee fans being like, why is he dancing with another blonde? I was like, well, what about Summer? And, you know, she hadn't really like danced before. And I was like, well, what if she comes in rehearsals and learns it? I'll have my friend Curtis that works with me a lot, came and assisted, and because it was partnering, and I was like, we can both work together, and if she feels comfortable, I think it'd be really cool. What more would fans want to see than like John and his fiance dancing together?
Right.
And I was like, and then if you have it in the budget, you can have 2 other couples of professional dancers behind them. So that's what we ended up doing, and it worked out perfect. Everyone loves seeing that. Like, oh, they're about to get married, they're dancing together. It's like perfect. And so with like putting stuff together, it's important to know, like, do your research on the artists and stuff. And then also with the dancers, sometimes they can do all the hard work, but making the artist look their best is what's most important.
Yeah. And being flexible to what they need. It sounds like you have your set routine, but it's like you're very flexible to go.
You have to be able to make a change like on the spot. And then I think too, just being open to whatever everyone wants. Yeah. Because if you go in with like one mindset, I'll tell you, we always joke as professional dancers, oh, it's gonna change the day of.
It's gonna be different.
But you have to be like on your toes and be prepared for it.
So in terms of putting together playlists for these classes and for just any sort of teaching environment that you've got going on, what is so important to you about, you know, introducing your students to different types of music?
So moving to Nashville, and I've always kind of been like this, like Ellie Goulding, that's huge. I remember I would go online when I was in college, like procrastinating, studying for an exam, and find all these different artists. And I remember choreographing to some of her songs before anyone knew who she was. And you just have to take time to find it. And so being in Nashville, Music City, I was like, I want to use, first off, I have so many artists that are friends of mine. So I want to expose people to that and help promote their music. Yeah. I want to find new artists, and that's how I kind of started working as a choreographer here. I mean, I danced on Nashville, the TV show, since season 1. I'd even come back from LA, and then the final season they actually hired me as a choreographer. And then you just keep meeting people. And actually teaching at Millennium, people would see videos and reach out to me. That's how I started working with Cassie. She had taken another teacher's class here, and then she followed Millennium, saw some of my stuff, had her director reach out to me. And then I just was like, oh, I should just start teaching to, you know, artists here's music, because social media allows you to get it out there and be more like exposed to that. And I think when I taught to the Florida Georgia line, that's what got me my first job doing their talk you out of it lyric video, and it just started to go from there. And if any of my friends ever mention an artist, I'm like, all right, I'll teach you their song, because it's good music, and they're like, you know, top 40 is great, but why not expose them to people that are right here?
Yes.
Because I think artists supporting artists is one of the most important things. I mean, that's how we met LJ.
Right. Thank you, LJ, by the way. Shout out. Who is also a great dancer, by the way. So
She just naturally dances
Yes.
and does everything. There's nothing she can't do.
So yeah, and I mean, I love your social media page, your Instagram. So yeah, go check out Joy Denver Spears on Instagram. She's got a slew of videos posted all the time that you can learn some pretty great dances too. So, and then you're also teaching online classes on Schooloo,
Yes.
SCOOLU.
Yes. My agents in LA actually set me up with that. And it's like an online mentorship. There's like professional boxers, hockey, like all sports, and they just added a dance section. And I think there's 5, 6, 7 maybe of us dancers on there, but you can get like private dance classes online. You can get online critique, like if you want to, like if it's getting online, like on a live video thing, or send a video to get performance critique or get industry advice. There's a ton of different options, and it's a really cool platform that they've started.
That's awesome. Well, I feel like I'm going to learn so much more from you as more we become friends. So thank you for sharing just everything that you've experienced.
Thank you.
And all that you've learned and everything. So now we're going to learn a dance.
Tik Tok.
Yes, we are. So stay tuned.
I feel like if it starts here on the 1, 2, 3, 4, then goes into the Charleston. I got you. So you're going cross, out, almost like you're smashing a bug, like boom. So just do this a few times.
So I'm leading with my right foot.
Yeah. So the thing is like you're making it too difficult. You just go feet in, in, out, in, out, in, out, out. Yeah.
Close.
Yes. So, and you're just pushing this shoulder, so don't think arms, think shoulder, shoulder. Like you're trying to get that dirt off your shoulder. Ha, ha. But don't do your arms, just go. Pull. So, wait, so watch. So go down, 1, and keep your chest facing this way. So it's like you're cleaning something off the floor. Clean the floor. When you go down, we go 1, 2. So you're trying to knock 2 people out, but you're just staying this way, down, down. But when you go down, your arms come up. So just do this slowly. Slower.
How did she do it? Do it. Do it. Do it.
Libby. Libby. Libby.
3, 2,
Libby.
1.
It's the Libby O Show.
You're all very talented, just saying.
Never get.
How did she do it? Do it. Do it. Do it.
Libby. Libby. Libby.
3, 2,
Libby.
1.
It's the Libby O Show.
Joy, thank you so much. That was so fun. I still have a lot of learning to do, but you can go learn this dance. Tag the Libby O Show and Joy Denver Spears on TikTok. Use the hashtag the Libby O Show so that you can dance to the Libby O Show Charleston. See you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye.
It's the Libby O Show. The Libby O Show. It's the Libby O Show.
the Libby O Show.